Okay.
Okay, so we're back.
Well, hello.
Hello,
We're back.
Number two. Number two of Tara and Lisa and our shenanigans with murder and mayhem in minutes. So this week, who are we talking about, Leigh?
We're talking about Nanny Dawes. Her name is
Her birth name.
Her birth name was Nancy Hazel.
I had never heard of this one. You found her.
I did.
Yeah.
Don't ask how.
I'm finding the next people. But go ahead. Tell them about
All
Nanny.
right, so
Nanny's also known as, I love her serial killer nickname. The Giggling Granny.
So many though. She got a couple.
She got a couple, but that one tickled me.
We got the Jolly Black Widow, the Giggling Granny that Tara so much likes. We also, no, I think that was it. I think that's the only one she has. Anyway, so she killed from the 1920s to 1954. 11 people that she's known to have killed, or that we think she's killed, including 4 of her husbands, her mother, her sister, her grandson, and her mother-in-law. She poisoned her victims with arsenic. The choice of
arsenic and old lace.
There you go. The choice of things that most women like to, I guess.
Women who like to poison.
All right.
Plus, they say it tastes like almonds. It tastes and smell like almonds.
That is true.
So you don't know you're being poisoned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, the thing is, and Tara and I know this because, well, you don't know from experience. We just know from watching a lot of TV.
Way too much true crime.
Yeah. So what we don't want to do is like get their bodies exhumed and be like, yo.
We don't want y'all to think that we actually like have firsthand experience.
We don't. We absolutely
just read a lot and watch a lot of TV about true crime.
Because that's our niche.
That's our thing.
So, okay. So after killing her 5th husband, Dawes confessed to murdering him by putting rat arsenic in his coffee.
I wonder what makes a woman decide that she's just gonna, like, you know what, I'm throwing caution to the wind, and if you're in my way and you're annoying me, I'm gonna kill you.
I think that some people are just tired of being tired, but then go do you.
But how do you explain her killing her children?
You know, she's special.
What kind of woman poisons her children?
Her mama, her husbands. She had no choice.
She didn't care. She didn't care. She was like, you know what? You're in my way. You got a life insurance policy. I'm the beneficiary. Here, drink this tea.
Deuces.
Uh-huh.
So, all right. So her childhood, a little bit of background on Nanny. All right. She was born in Blue Mountain, Alabama on November 4th, 1905. She had 1 brother, 2 sisters. She dropped out of school in the 6th grade because her father required her siblings to work on the family farm. So she wasn't allowed to have friends, wear makeup, or dresses. And her father was extremely controlling. In her youth, she was in a she was in a train accident, okay? That when she hit her head on a metal railing, resulting her suffering from headaches for the rest of her life. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
I wonder if it was like a concussion.
Yeah, but
for the rest of your life,
right? Like a lot went on with that. I feel like.
I mean, but we're talking about the early 1900s. Exactly. What did they know? They gave you Coke. Here. You don't feel good?
Brandy for your gums, because your teeth hurt. You know, they did a lot of stuff. So there's that. So
all right, so let me talk about Nanny's husbands. Okay. So Nanny's first husband was named Charles Braggs, and she married him when she was 16 years old and had 4 children. Why'd you make that face?
Yo, it's a lot going on at 16. I ain't trying to be nobody's wife.
Well, I mean, look at the times. People lived on farms. They, did whatever it was that they had to do.
Who knows?
So 2 of the children died from food poisoning. Okay. But Dawes is suspected of having poisoned them. I'm going with that.
Yes.
Braggs was also controlling. So just like her father, her first husband was controlling and manipulative. The 2 eventually divorced. And then she goes on to meet Frank Harrelson. And she met him through the Lonely Hearts column in the newspaper. I remember hearing about Lonely Hearts column.
I do too.
We're dating ourselves. I mean, it was way, way, way before our time.
But it was a thing.
But I remember hearing about it. It was like the Tinder of the early 1900s.
Yes.
So the 2 got married 2 years after her divorce from Braggs. And Harrelson turned out to be an alcoholic. She really knows how to pick them. And a criminal. So apparently he had a criminal record for assault. They were married for 16 years. And Dawes later admitted to putting rat arsenic in his corn whiskey after he raped her. How lovely.
Listen, she said no.
And no means no, guys. No means no.
He ain't listen.
Yeah. So, husband number 3. Husband number 3 is where some question comes in, right?
Yes.
Okay. So his name was Artie Lanning.
Yep.
And she also met him through the Lonely Hearts column in the newspaper. They were married 3 days after they met.
That's a lot of love.
That's too much for me.
Dedication.
So Lanning also turned out to be an alcoholic. And after being married, we don't know. There's some discrepancy. Some articles say they were married for 2 years. Some articles say they were married for 5 years.
Yes.
So they were married between 2 and 5 years.
That's about it.
He died of a heart attack. And that was believed to have been induced by the flu. The flu. Mm-hmm. But because of his history of alcoholism, an autopsy was performed because it was believed he succumbed to alcohol. Doss obtained a $500 insurance money when the home she lived in with Lanning burned to the ground.
Well, here's the thing.
What?
So we got a suspected burning that she may have done.
Oh, a suspected arson.
Because when she killed him, he left the house to his sister.
Oh, do you think he suspected that she was up to no good? And
I think he just left the house to his sister. And
she was like,
oh, so it's not mine?
No, you may not.
I can't have this home.
Then neither can she.
There you go. And a little gasoline go a long way.
You want to pick up with husband number 4, Lynn? That was Mr. Morton.
So let's see. Hold on for
we've got our notes.
4 minutes. I got a lot of notes actually. So she met her 4th husband, unlike the previous 2 in the one ad, so whatever. So she went to the Diamond Circle Club for him.
I don't know what that is, the Diamond Circle
Club.
Club.
Either. I think it may have just been like maybe a social gathering.
Oh, like a social club?
Possibly.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's
assuming. Cool. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We're not that old.
We're assuming.
All right. So he turned out to be an adulterer as well. And Doss's mother looks like when she died shortly thereafter, complaining of stomach cramps, with Morton dying only 3 months later.
So the way that went was the mom, Nanny Doss's mom, came to visit. And while she was there, Nanny cooked all the meals, gave everybody all the drinks. She died while she was visiting her daughter and her son-in-law.
Yeah.
Of food poisoning. Sorry, my dog just barked. We're recording from my house. So that suspicious, yes. And then, like Lisa just said, the husband died
of stomach cramps.
Yeah.
Or
the mom was complaining of stomach cramps. So that's why I was like, food poisoning?
Yeah. And we're not really sure like how long they were married either. I want to say they were married for maybe like 2 months or so.
They weren't married long, but he succumbed 3 months after her mother did.
Yeah.
And another thing that I found really strange, like I was able to find pictures, and we'll post them in the show notes, but I was able to find pictures because allegedly she killed 2 of her children.
So,
right.
This is what I saw or was reading, got some research on. So she had 4 children. They all were girls. And the middle 2 children are the ones that were having the issues with stomach issues or having some problems. So they actually passed.
Right.
And the husband, who is Charles, her first husband, is the father of these 4 children.
Right. And he took the oldest girl.
He took the oldest daughter and left the youngest.
When they got divorced, when they split up.
Yeah. Correct. So he, I think, moved to Florida. I'm not really sure of the state, but he moved away with the daughter. And when his mother got sick, then that's when he came back with the oldest daughter. And when he came back with the oldest daughter, she took the oldest daughter from him. That's how she retained.
That's how she wound up back with the oldest
daughter.
And then the oldest daughter wound up having 2 kids. And she wound up, the grandson was murdered. The grandson was poisoned as well. And he was a baby.
So was the daughter.
Right.
So she had 2 kids. And at the time, the 2-year-old, which was her son, she was pregnant with the daughter that she had. The daughter supposedly, allegedly died right there after she was born. But she was fine when she came in the world.
Yeah.
And then,
but it was also the early 1900s. So it could have been incidents.
This lady got a track record.
I mean, she definitely has a track record. There's no way that this woman wasn't involved.
You ain't babysitting Jack for me.
No, and that was the other thing. Like her oldest daughter who had kids. Like, I know that's your mom, but like, there's so much suspicion around your mom. I'm cool on you watching my kids, man. Like, nah, I'm good. Wherever I go, they'll go. But her children wound up dying in her mother's care.
Yeah.
So she killed her grandchildren.
And it's like your 2-year-old was staying with your mom because you're trying to get over the death of your infant, and then he dies.
Yep.
And like weeks later.
Yep. So yeah. But there was a picture that I saw online, and guys, seriously, do some research on this. The oldest daughter was in the picture with Nanny, and there were 2 daughters. So I don't know if the daughter went on and had 2 more kids.
I would have moved away.
But she was holding one and holding the other one's hand, and these were like older looking kids. So I was like, she then went on to have more kids and let her mom watch them. Yeah, see, no,
we don't know what happened to the youngest daughter.
No, we don't. We don't know what happened.
It's definitely the middle 2 children, the grandchildren, the mama,
the mother-in-law, the mom, her mom,
her mom. Well,
and 5 husbands.
No, 4.
4 husbands.
And then we got mother-in-laws.
That's right. We do have mother-in-laws.
Because
she was really on a roll.
She was on a roll.
Who was selling her rat poison? Like, why didn't anybody question? Why didn't anybody question?
She had bulk supply.
Why did he buying rat poison? What's that? Arsenic.
She straight had a bulk supply of some poison in her arsenal and was like, listen, say less. I got you.
So Nanny's last husband, his name was Samuel Dawes. So she changed her last name every single time?
I don't think so. I think they just
she had to because
the
last husband was Dawes.
I think that.
Yeah. Okay. So he was hospitalized with flu. I'm doing air quotes. Flu.
Yeah.
Like symptoms, but was released after 2 weeks.
Man.
The same evening that he was released from the hospital, he died at home.
And that's only because the investigator, because the doctor was like, yo.
He was fine.
He's not that old. Why is this man dead? And what's the situation? What are you doing?
Yep. So an autopsy was ordered when his doctor was alarmed by this sudden death. Yeah. And the autopsy found large amounts of arsenic in his system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Das told interrogators that she was searching for the perfect mate. And it only took her 4 husbands. The real romance of her life to explain why she killed her husbands. That, Nanny, is the dumbest excuse that I've ever heard. You want to go to the trial?
Man, so Oklahoma centered Nanny Dawes' case only for the death of Samuel Dawes. Mm-hmm. So she pled guilty on May 17, 1955 and was sentenced to life in prison. Mm-hmm. Since she was a woman, because that mattered, she wasn't sentenced to execution in the electric chair. She was never charged with the other murders she admitted to. Mm-hmm. Dawes died from leukemia in the hospital ward of Oklahoma State Penitentiary in 1965. Mm-hmm. So she spent 10 years in prison.
Yep. Yeah.
For her last
husband. Never mind the children, the mother, the other 3 husbands.
How about arson?
Arson, burning down the house because it was left to the sister-in-law, not her.
Grandkids.
But the reason why she's called the Giggling Granny, like she was psychotic. Let's just be clear. She was psychotic. The reason why she was called the Giggling Granny is because when they were interrogating her about the deaths of her family members, she was laughing. She found it funny. She was giggling.
What is so funny?
Law enforcement they nicknamed her the Giggling Granny. Go figure.
But you can't make it up.
You can't make it up.
This is the stuff that you just go.
And this is why we're so fascinated, because it's like, these are real people. This actually happened. This wasn't a Lifetime movie. This wasn't an investigation.
And we talking 1920s.
Early.
So 1920s and 1954, this lady was on her I'ma kill you spree.
Yes, she was the original Wives with Knives.
Facts. I didn't even think of it that way. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But her poison was the choice.
Her choice of
because and she had to have that joint in bulk.
Yeah. So she kind of puts me in the mind of, and we should think about doing this for the next episode, Belle Guinness. You ever heard of Belle Guinness?
No.
That's a really
fascinating. Okay. Mm-hmm. Who is Belle Guinness?
Who is Belle Guinness? You know what? Let's discuss that on the next episode. Yeah. So, all right, my friends.
Yes.
That is it for the story of Nanny Doss.
The Giggling Granny.
The Giggling Granny.
Man.
Thank you once again. This is Lisa. Kara.
Deuces.
Murder and Mayhem in Minutes.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.